This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.
Good morning, Nekia.
Hi,
How are you?
I am good.
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm glad to be here. This is the first podcast ever.
That's exciting.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Cool. I'm glad
Lots
I'm the
of
first one
anxiety.
that gets. No. Let's be cool.
Yes.
Very, very lucky that I get to be the first person that interviews you on a podcast, I guess.
Yes. It's intentional. It's intentional.
Like, this is the first time that you and I are meeting in real life.
It is. So I was like, this is perfect. It'll be more conversational.
Yeah.
More relaxed.
But we've been friends on Instagram for a while.
Yeah.
We DM each other a lot.
Yeah.
We
have a
have been
circle.
friends already. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Venn diagram. So like we have our circles, but then there's the middle spot. That's where we're at.
I was like, so you're a local fashion designer.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even want to say local. You're a fashion designer
Yes.
that happens to live in Des Moines.
Yes.
You have a studio,
I do.
a
Downtown.
Mainframe Studios, right? I basically want to know everything about that. I wanna
About
know
Mainframe.
About you
Oh,
and your
okay.
studio and your brand.
Yes.
So-
Well, Mainframe, it serves a purpose of why I'm in there. So
Tell me about it.
it is the largest artist-ran studio in the nation. So there's 220 artists in the building. And so I just wanted to be around creative people. And in Des Moines, I feel like there's so many creative people, but there's no like one spot that we all meet at. So Mainframe is kind of like that thing for me. And I wanted to be there so I can be, around other creative people. And
How long have you been there already?
I have been there about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yep, I got there September of 22.
Awesome.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
And then I started off in like a closet.
Yeah, because like you kind of like whenever you start, they give you
Yeah.
like a smaller space, or is it whatever you
No.
apply or you can afford?
So for my birthday, I was just like, I'm just going to go all in and apply. And then I like paid. And then I waited like a year.
It's a process. Everybody's trying to get in there.
Man, it is like, and they was like, well, we have this small space. I was like, I'll take it. As long as I'm in there. And then I had a plan. So I was like, once I get in, I'm going to grow. And then I'll get a bigger space later. It came much faster than I thought. So now I'm in a bigger studio space that's like 3 times the size that I started at.
That's fun.
Yes, so I love it. Much bigger. I have more space. and
I
can
feel
actually
like with the
cut.
designs that you make, you need more room.
Yes.
So let's get to that. Your
Yes.
designs or your designer name is
Nick Star Design.
Nexter Designs.
Yep.
Tell us about what you design, what you create.
So I consider myself a high-end luxury evening wear designer. So that's gowns if you're going to any type of prom is kind of where I'm at now. They're the bride. Formal wear.
Yeah. Gala.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of those things. When did you start designing?
So I started designing gowns maybe about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And then recently, I was just like, I feel like formal wear needs something different. So I started to incorporate how can we add formal wear into our like daily life.
Okay.
It's a weird concept, but it
Love it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So during my consultations that I have with clients, I'm like, okay, is this for this event? Would you like to wear a part of this in like something else? So maybe we don't have to put the whole dress together. We could do separate pieces.
Ooh.
So yeah, sometimes you want to wear like a blinged out corset and denim.
100%.
And you
With a
should.
pair of jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love a blazer.
Idea. Yeah.
Blazer corset combo eats every time.
I love it. So, did you go to school for design?
I did. So
You did.
I'm originally from Chicago.
Okay.
I know.
No, I kind of figured that you weren't from here.
I'm
in a good way.
Yeah. I came from Chicago to go to school at Iowa State.
Okay.
And so I did their fashion program. While I was in their fashion program is when I started my business.
Okay.
So I was being very strategic and using what I got and applying it.
Yeah. That's very cool. So how long ago did you graduate it?
I graduated in 2012.
Okay, so you've been at it.
Yeah.
So before you used to just do it from your home?
Yep. I was I started out in my living room.
Very cool.
At a off-campus apartment.
All right. Yeah.
Then I moved. We moved around a lot. And so it was always a space that I had to work in. And then I went to my basement. And I was like, I can't keep inviting people into my basement.
Why?
Because I had to clean up my whole house to get down to the basement.
Right. They get to see your space.
Yeah, and then our kids is running around. So I'm just like, let me get an actual space. Like, let's make this for real. So that was like the first
that's when you landed a mainframe.
Yep, that was a big leap.
And that's just not even a couple of years.
I know, and I love it. I love it.
It's a community space, that's for sure.
Yes.
And then you get those first Fridays of the month events.
Yep, every first Friday of the month, they have a different theme.
Mm-hmm.
They have deemed September the fashion one.
Yes, you just had a fashion show last September.
That was
with a bunch of other designers that were.
Yeah, so.
And it was your first show?
That was my first show in Des Moines.
I love it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I got to see it from outside because I never realized that it was going to get that packed. But awesome.
It was over 1,500 people.
Yeah, it was a lot.
We had to close the door. We couldn't let anybody
in.
I
remember that.
And then they were.
But, I mean, no, you couldn't even fit anybody in there. I was like, why are you upset?
We were at maximum capacity. I was like, open the curtains so people can at least see.
We did. You could see it.
Yeah.
It was very exciting. Your work is really fun.
Thank you. I like to have fun.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
But it's really fun. And you look like you enjoy yourself.
Yes.
And your clients, at least in social media, they always feel like they get to be themselves.
Yeah.
With just a little bit of bling and tool and crystals.
All of the rhinestones.
You do a lot of rhinestones by hand, don't you?
Yeah, I do both. I love hand sewing. Something about hand sewing it's so pure.
Yeah. Before you went to school, you knew that's what you wanted to do, that you wanted to be a fashion designer?
Well, no.
So
the first thing that I wanted to be was a vet.
Oh, cute.
And then I realized that I had to actually perform operations and stuff. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Instead, you're just gonna pet the animals and then you can fine.
I just wanted to cuddle things. That was the vibe. And then I was really getting into science.
Okay.
In high school, and I was like, I'm gonna be a geneticist.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever even said that.
You just got it in your brain?
Yeah, I've never told anyone.
Right.
That. But yeah, that's
first.
I wanted to be a geneticist.
Oh my God. That is so random.
It is so random. It is so random.
But I love me a smart girl. That wants to do. Yeah.
And then I landed on, I just enjoyed doing fashion. And then when I found out, you can be a fashion designer. I'm like, what?
Who told you that?
I'm even trying to think. It wasn't my grandma, because she sewed for the family, but she was into the medical field.
But isn't it crazy? She was low key your own fashion designer.
She was.
Right? Because they made stuff for you. My grandma was the same way, but she will never call herself that.
Never.
It's just I sew your stuff. I make you a dress. I just made you a dress.
From scratch.
To wear, for a party. That's okay.
It's crazy. So, once I figured out, you can actually, this is a career.
You get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, let me find out what that's like.
Yeah.
And it just stuck.
Did you like the fashion program at Iowa State?
So I would say the fashion program at Iowa State is really great depending on where you want to go. It's a technology school. So, you get all of that. all of the technology that comes with fashion, there is a huge entrepreneurial push at Iowa State as well. So in that regard, for the entrepreneurship, I definitely I was all in.
Yeah.
The fashion part was fun, but I wanted to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, the program was going through some transitional things. People were in positions, they were leaving in and out. So my senior year was when they kind of really got it together on the creative side. I'm like, dang, I'm leaving now. But Iowa State has always been, I do internships with them now. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And then you got to do a fashion show at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right? That's your senior year, or you do it every?
It's your senior year.
That's basically your.
Yeah, so you have to test into the program. A lot of people didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you have to test in. So you do this whole sewing test, and
I love that.
You put together a portfolio. You have to submit your work to a juried competition at the time. I don't know if it's still
right. That was
yeah.
the time.
So I had submitted my senior line into Iowa State show, and it got in.
Very cool.
So yeah,
that's always such a cool show too.
It is.
It's so exciting to see.
And it's the largest student-ran fashion show in the
Oh my
country.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to take a Sewell.
Yeah, I
haven't been in a few years. I used to not miss it, but it's been a few years.
I haven't been back since I left, but it's always nice because I follow them on Instagram and stuff
Right,
like that. So you get to
I
see
do too.
all of the things.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
How does it feel to see new upcoming designers?
I love it.
Right?
It's one of those things that you feel like people aren't sewing and stuff as much anymore.
Right.
People think, oh, it's just what old people do. I'm no, fashion is not what old people do. I hope everybody hears that. Fashion is not what old people do. Sewing is not.
Yeah.
So now it's I get to reach back and help other people come up in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
In Iowa.
Yeah. It's a new wave.
It's
a new wave for sure.
And I think
it's refreshing to see that also kids are allowed to tap into their creative.
Exactly.
And then there's a huge push about it. That I love that.
Yes. And I never knew how important visibility is in the community.
I bet.
Until I will get emails from some high school students. They're like, oh, I went to Mainframe and I saw you were in there. And
That's so cool. Well, because it is very few.
It is.
Very, very few.
There's a few of us here.
Yeah. And
scattered.
I also have another interview with Rachel, which I was like, those are the only two designers that came to my mind.
Yeah.
And I was
there's still more.
Right? You gotta connect me with some more too. I would love to meet more people.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
I think there might be 6 of us in Mainframe.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we all have our own vibes and styles.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Sometimes I feel there are certain designers that are really, they don't really like each other, even though their styles. Yeah, it feels like competition. Yeah. Maybe because we're in Des Moines. Maybe that's why it feels like competition. But styles are so different. And I also, I think what I believe in is there is room for everybody.
There is.
There's absolutely room for everybody.
Yes.
And
I agree.
Before fashion was not even a thing, and fashion or style wasn't even a thing in Des Moines. So why can't we just all get along and ride the wave together and create a new wave for the newer generations?
Exactly. And there's a lot of fashion here, which is why it's so weird. With Central Campus, DMAC.
Yeah.
I would say, I think there's maybe you and I think they have a fashion something.
Oh.
So there's fashion
they probably
here.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
But
the kids at Central Campus are always so fun to watch too. And they're just high school kids.
Yes.
They're going into college. I also think that particularly Iowa, I don't think they make it attractive enough for them to want to stay. Because I also know quite a few people that study some sort of fashion or styling or merchandising, and they work hard here for a few years to be able to move to LA, move to New York. Yeah. Because it would just, and then most of them are Black and brown kids. So their opportunities for them were non-existent, you know, so they left.
Yep. And that's always the thing. A lot of the time, even in some of like the Iowa education, they preach to go elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, well, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah. You didn't even go back to Chicago.
I didn't. Because I can always visit those places.
Right.
The cost of living here is so like low. Mm-hmm. And with technology, I can literally be anywhere I want.
Right. So do you have family here?
I don't. All of my family is in Chicago. Or spread out.
Right. It's not a bad drive.
It's not. And so my husband is from Des Moines.
Okay.
So he's not going nowhere. Fine with me. We also have a landscaping business. So it would be hard to go somewhere else and manage that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's fine.
That's a good business to have in Iowa.
I know. So today with the snow, I was like, oh my gosh, she's running out of the house. I'm like, ooh.
Yep. Word craziness. So you're married. Do you have kids?
I do.
You do?
I have 2 kids.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
9 and 6.
9 and 6.
Yep.
Boys, girls.
So my 9-year-old's a girl, and she has her own business too.
Cute. What does she do?
She sells kids' hair accessories.
Okay.
So we share a studio.
Wait, she was like in a mainframe little reel.
Yes.
She got like a little table.
Yep. K-Slay Accessories.
Oh my God. Yes. I saw it.
Yes.
Cute.
She saw that we were doing stuff, and she's like, well, I want to do stuff too.
I love that.
I was like, all right, girl, let's come on.
Yeah.
And then my son is 6. And he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. But I think he's going to go the engineering route. He loves to like tinker and take things apart.
I love that.
And put it back together.
Yeah.
So that's his vibe.
That's cool. That's awesome. I did not know you had kids. Yeah. But I did check her reel. It was so cute. Her little table there, mainframe.
Yes, she gets so excited. And she does everything. I'm just there. I am her employee. I'm her employee. Excuse me.
Yeah. You always end up. Azul had her first pop-up at Sister Soul Fest last summer. And she makes jewelry out of like vintage, or she repurposes all kinds of stuff to make jewelry. And Dad, Amner got her the space, right? Mm-hmm. I bought her the tent. I don't know how many other things we had to get her to like set her up, you know, for success. She did all the work, right? Yeah. Then we had to wake up like at 6 a.m. so I could set up her space and make it look cute. You know, at the end of the day, it was fucking exhausting. Yeah. And then she was very excited about putting her money together. She was so proud of herself. And the community riled up for her because everybody was like donating stuff so she could make jewelry. So she didn't spend any money.
I love it.
We did.
Of course.
When she put the numbers together, I remember I was outside in the backyard having a glass of wine, and she like told me how much she made, you know? And then I was like with a friend, and I'm like, that's not even what the tin cost. That's not even half of what the tin cost. But I was like, I'm not gonna kill her vibe. Right. I'm not gonna kill her vibe.
It was a confidence.
I'm like, she's good. She's gonna keep doing it. She's 13 now.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's been making jewelry since she's like 7 or 8. She's just a very creative kid.
Yeah, I could tell.
Thank you. Yeah, but she's like, I'm gonna just remind me. Yesterday we had some friends over for dinner. It's like, she used to want to be editor-in-chief of a magazine. Okay. So I ran when she was like 5. She used to just grab magazines and, you know, cut-offs and pretty much like make her own magazine.
Just a whole spread.
Yeah, so I just started calling her, you know, editor-in-chief. And just like I've been calling Luca an artist since he's like 2 or 3. Yeah. She'll put like magazines together. Like we will sit down and then she will create her own magazine out of other magazines. But she wanted to see what she wanted to create. And she will write and she will do. So we did quite a few. So she's always been into whatever fashion.
I love that.
Style.
Were you like that when you were?
I was very creative since I was a kid.
Okay,
yeah.
Same.
But same. Like I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. Uh-huh. Then I wanted to be a social worker. Then also that kind of broke my heart when I figured what they really did. And then I wanted to be the next Selena, so which that didn't work, obviously. And then I was like, around 6 is when I was like, I want to be a fashion designer. And never changed my mind after that.
Yes, and I saw you present your line.
I did. I do like, I've done a few fashion shows that were like my own designs. Nowadays, I only do once a year, and I do it for the Iowa Coalition Domestic Violence, and I just do it to raise awareness.
Yeah. I saw it. I thought it was
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. Yeah, just, we'll see. I want to create more. I definitely want to do more. I've been busy raising the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also just trying to figure out what my voice is. Like, just like, as I get older, I guess, like, this is where I want to be. But I'm creative every day, I think. Yeah. I believe you are the same.
Yes, yes. This all just resonates, for sure. I think the thing about fashion is it's never one thing.
Right.
So it's always forever changing.
Right.
And I'm like, when I first started, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have a boutique and I'm going to buy wholesale and resell it.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, was that a bad idea.
Yeah.
And
did you try it?
I did.
Yeah?
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I don't enjoy shopping. Let me also say that. So I knew I wasn't going to be a buyer. So I don't know why I put myself in that position.
Gotcha.
And then I also was like, I can't compete in the way that I want to without, like, capital. So it's expensive.
Very true. It's very expensive.
And then have inventory, and then you have to sell the inventory.
Being a buyer has its tricks. Like, just because you're good at sewing and you're a fashion designer, you're a creative in that way, that doesn't mean that you're are going to enjoy or know how to buy.
Yes. And you're not
you
big
will
enough.
think that they will go hand in hand.
They don't.
But they really don't.
And you're not big enough to where you can just hire that out.
Right. No.
Well, I'm not.
Right.
Some people.
Some people can be. Yeah.
No, I started out at 0.
Was this like out of mainframe?
No.
Or like you were just doing kind of online?
This was when I was in college. I mean, you're the real college student with a big dream.
Yeah. Hey, you tried.
Yeah. So, yeah, I maxed out a couple credit cards in the beginning and realized this was not a good idea.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, where can I pivot? But if you don't fail, you don't learn.
Yeah, 100%.
So I learned a lot. I failed a lot.
Yeah.
I still plan on failing.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's okay.
Same. I feel the same way. Yeah.
Because you don't know unless you try. So
yeah.
I tried it. I didn't like it. I pivoted, do something else. And now this feels good.
Good. So you just rebranded, like we were talking off the mic, to Nickstar Design.
Yes.
Because it was Nickstar Boutique.
When I first started, it was Nekia Marie Boutique.
That's kind of cute.
It was a mouthful.
But yeah.
And
people don't have that much
they
span
don't.
to like grasp all of that.
And then I have a unique name. So I was like, oh, okay, Nekia. And then I was like, okay, I don't know if people remember that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted something that stuck.
Yeah. So tell me about your space, because I haven't even been to your space. Every time that there's like First Friday, there's something else happening and I can never make it. But you're in a bigger space now.
I am.
From what I see in social media, people can come and do consultations first.
Yeah.
Right?
I do in-person consultations. I do virtual too for out-of-state clients. But I wanted the in-person to be just like a vibe.
Yeah. Like I said before, I feel like your space feels like an atelier for me. Like, that's where you come. Right. A little seating area you have. I can see that.
A bar setup.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I'm coming.
Yes, we love
it.
Tequila's my favorite. I tend to have it in there, but it always goes very fast.
So don't have it there.
Yes. And then my studio is like where everybody congregates after the First Friday events.
Oh, I love that. You've created a little community.
Yes.
I love that.
So a lot of things and then the kids are in the studio too. That's also I needed a bigger space.
Yes.
So yeah, they eat up all the snacks. that are there.
That's awesome. You get to have them there. They get to see you in action.
Yes, right there. That. They're not there during clients, but they're there as I'm like working.
So you're in prom season right now.
I am.
Right?
Yep.
What does that look like? What's your process for a client?
So I try to keep everything the same, just for my own sanity.
I bet.
And I try to streamline things as much as possible. So to book an appointment, it's super easy. You just go on the website. I have it linked literally everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a cost to it. It's a $150 consultation.
Okay.
That includes a lot. And I think that's the part that I need to explain better.
Okay.
And I want to make like a video. And this is just me thinking freely. I want to make a video about like why people should pay for a consultation.
Yeah. Tell us why people should pay for a consultation.
Well, for one, it lets the person that you're doing business with know that you're serious. That's like the biggest part.
Right.
And like it's like your skin in the game. And then there's a lot of stuff on the back end. I don't get any of my fabrics from Iowa, so I have to either physically go to get samples, or I'm in talks with vendors and fabrics places all over the country, sometimes the world. So it's a lot of back and forth just to get you the proper cost of what it would be to do the garment.
And also you deserve to get paid for your time. A consultation is also your time.
Yes.
Right?
And then it lets me plan out, so I don't want to overbook.
Mm-hmm.
That's never a good thing.
Right. How long is a consultation usually? Like an hour?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what the design is.
I gotcha.
And then there's measurements that go into it. So, like, it's pretty extensive. I take a lot of measurements based off of what we sketch during the design as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so you're already sketching?
Yeah, I'm sketching as we're talking. When
you're doing the consultation. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sketching as we're talking. I'm asking you questions that you probably don't think should have anything to do with the outfit, but then it might.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And I have, like, my favorite client story.
Tell me.
So I had a client that was going to host an event, and she was like, very adamant about a jumpsuit. And all women know, you have a jumpsuit, it's hard to go to the bathroom. There's hard
nothing
to
I hate more than being in a public place on a jumpsuit.
Yes.
I can't.
And you think about this, and you're like, okay, what do I have? How long am I going to be there? What am I wearing? And then if you have, like, foundational things, like you have Spanx or something.
Yeah, undergarments,
you're just like, oh, my God, this is work.
Yep.
And so I was like, how about we not do that, and we do, like, 3 pieces? So she was like, well, what does that look like? I was like, okay, we did a bodysuit, pants, and then a belt to tie it all together. So when she had it on, everything was the same fabric. So when she had it on, it looked like a jumpsuit.
A jumpsuit.
But she was like, oh, this was great. I would have never thought that this is an option.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, and you can wear it with other stuff in your closet, too.
You have, like, 3 different pieces, 3 different outfits.
Yeah, I was like, it's an investment. You should wear it more than just for the one.
Right.
For the one event.
The one time.
Yeah.
Because it makes so much sense that you do, or you try to do that with your clients, because your pieces are, like, works of art.
Yeah.
Really, they're, like, so beautiful. But yeah, if it's one dress, it can just sit in the closet and never be worn ever again. And this way, they get to reuse it, so the recycle works a little bit better, and it's not just something that is going to be sitting in your closet collecting dust.
Yeah. And she really wanted pockets. And I was like, well,
a thing.
And we did a thing where I had her put her hand on a piece of paper, and I just traced her hand so I know how big and deep
the pockets
are.
are.
She was like, I would have never. I was like, yeah, it's little things.
Yeah, because, like, women's pockets on pants suck.
Just a little slit.
There's just, like, nothing.
Or it's stitched together. And it's
like, I've been thrifting like a lot of menswear lately, and then it's like the pocket goes all the way down, and then I'm like, what? Like, why did they do this to us?
I bought. I was in a bind. I bought a blazer like from Rainbow, just random.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be shit, but I was just like, let me just get this because I have nothing else. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, I should just went to the thrift store. I thrift every single blazer that I have.
Yeah.
And they're all men's blazers.
Same.
They just fit better.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this.
And they're way cheaper.
They are.
Unless, like, you really, want to invest on one and then you really want to measure yourself and spend. I just feel like it's not worth it.
And I don't wear blazers all the time, but, like, this is my favorite one.
I love it.
And then
Ralph,
I have
it is
a
great.
Ralph Lauren. Thank you.
That's awesome. So, how many prom dresses do you do a year?
Full disclosure. I never really marketed toward doing prom. I fell into Mother the Bride. So I do a lot of those, but I have never done so many prom dresses to where I had to put a cap on it.
Gotcha.
Maybe one day, maybe this year. But I think since I'm fairly new in Des Moines, that I'm just kind of trying to see the lay of the land.
Yeah.
But I did creatively recruit a couple high school girls. And I'm like, hey, can you hand these out at your
Yeah.
But yeah, the 17, 18-year-old market, they are definitely not rushing. So I feel like I'm going to get some last minute.
Oh, for sure.
Asks. So that's why I was like, let me make some samples just in case.
Yeah.
So that's kind of.
So that's what you're doing right now,
Yeah.
just samples, and then they can be kind of bought of the rack, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And really for any occasion.
Right. Does the pricing change when you make a custom made or a sample?
No, because it's still the same amount of work.
Yeah.
And sometimes a sample might be more work because I have
no idea.
Well,
you get to be creative.
Exactly.
I bet those are fun to make.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, I really did a lot in this dress.
Do you, like when you make Mother of the Bride or like someone that is going to go to a gala, like how do you work on your feelings when you're like, that's not going to look good? I mean, because you do got to give the client what.
You do.
But at the same time, you're like, that is kind of my design. That's kind of my name on it.
I haven't had that issue yet.
That's
and
awesome.
I think that's just how I communicate.
Yeah.
And I think
that's awesome.
There's also an initial expectation.
Right.
I've had, for example, I had a Mother of the Bride outfit that she wanted, and it was the plainest thing. But it was made really well. I loved working with the fabric. And I was like, let me just sneak something, pin it at her fitting. She absolutely loved it.
Awesome.
So we ended up adding bling to it. So I was like, see?
See, bling is fun.
Bling is fun. It adds a certain brightness.
Especially if it's something that is tailored so well to your body. Then it just doesn't feel custom-y at all. It just fits like it was always meant to be, right? Yes. I feel like a lot of your designs are that.
Yes.
Like they're so well made.
Yes, I agree.
So like that every extra is just like it's like it was meant to always be there.
Yes.
Like that. That's how your designs feel like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that comes across.
For sure.
I had a conversation with another artist. I'm like, when you're creative, like whatever you do, it just never feels done.
Right. But looks right.
Yeah.
You were just in DSM magazine. Were you? Or was your just dress picture? What magazine was it? I feel like I said your dress. Or maybe it was a mainframe thing. Your dress that is made out of all like gold earrings.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yes. That's like
that was in the show.
That was in the show. Mm-hmm. Yes. My model, Destiny, shout out to her. She did a great job.
Yes. All of the girls did.
Oh, my gosh. We had like a malfunction at the show. I didn't bring down what she needed to wear underneath it. But she's like, no, it's fine. I was like, are you sure? I was like, I can put you something else. She's like, no, it's fine. I love this. I was like, okay, well, work it, girl.
Yeah. And they really did.
Yes.
Yeah. They really did. How how did you come up with that idea of the dress?
So last year we were doing a display for Juneteenth.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, what is something that I think would represent Black culture as it pertains to fashion? And I was like, okay, gold bamboo hoops.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't have a pair of those?
Right.
And then it was also the 50 years of hip hop. So I was like, oh, this is just a vibe. And then there was a lot of like 90s throwback parties and inspiration. So that was just like the mode that I was in.
Yeah.
And it's made of, I don't even know how many, because I've added.
Yeah.
As I've used it in different
As you
props.
went.
But
What's the base of the dress? Or you just like started building it on
well, the base of the dress
form?
is all gold chains.
Oh. Ooh.
It's all gold chains. And then I had an intern at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like her first thing. I was like, hey, we need to put all of these earrings on here. And she looked at me and was just like, it's going to take forever. I was like, no, we got it.
Like, we have to get it.
Yeah, we got it. I think it took us maybe 6 hours.
Wow.
Because once you put the earrings on, you have to go in with pliers.
Yeah. And then
close everything and not snap it.
Right.
Because then you got to start all over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we ended up with like 30 pairs of earrings on there.
Oh, my God. So 60 earrings.
Yeah.
That's like gold chains. Are you going to, like, where is that dress at? You're going to archive it?
I think I want to. I was trying to sell it, and then it was like a lot of like Freaknik themed parties and 90s themed parties going on. So I got like a lot of inquiries about it, but people were more so interested in how it was made versus the
right.
And I was like, it wasn't hard to make, but it definitely is a labor of love.
I also believe like it's your art. I'm like, yeah, sure, try to remake it. That's cool. Like, you know, the formula is not yours.
Right.
And then everyone can go and buy the earrings as well.
Right.
But
with anything,
but it's yours. It's your work. It's your...
Yeah, but, you know, it was on TikTok, and that's where it took off.
Yeah.
I never filmed how I made it, and that was because we were literally, like, on a deadline, too.
Yeah.
But since then, we did do a photo shoot with it. So it's on a big, like, poster outside of my studio. And then... it was in I don't know how to pronounce it. Berjou Shoes is like a dance shoe company.
Oh.
They had got contracted through the Barbie movie.
Okay.
So it was in a commercial that they were using to sell their shoes for the Barbie movie.
Get out.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That was like probably one of the coolest things.
Oh.
I was like, oh crap.
That's awesome. You're like, yes. It's one of those moments that like kind of like, oh yeah, what I'm doing is worth it.
I know. And I was just like, okay, like this is different. Like I saw the Barbie movie, but it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's so cool.
To be a part of like their
so see, if you
rollout.
archive it,
yeah,
stylists can just come to you and
I would love that.
And become something else.
I would love that.
Yeah, don't sell it.
I don't think. Well, I wouldn't sell that one.
Freaking beautiful.
If somebody else is like, "Hey, I would like
it."
But
make me one.
Yeah, make me
well,
one.
Well, now you also know how to make it. So.
Yeah. Yes. And I've learned a lot from making it.
Yeah.
It is, on a person, it looks great. On a hanger, it looks terrible.
Just like a bunch of earrings.
It's just hanging. So there's like hooks and everything just to keep it on the hanger.
To keep it on and shape.
Yes.
Is that your favorite design you have ever made?
No.
All right, because you've been at it 10 years. What's your favorite design? Do you have a favorite design?
I don't think I do. I have
awesome.
A silhouette that I really like. And I think you could probably guess what it is, but it's pretty much like the mermaid. Like I love a fit and flare.
Yes.
I just think it is so flattering on all body types.
You do such a great job at it.
Yeah.
Because you're a good tailor. So you can
thank you.
Like get anybody's body.
Well, I appreciate that.
Right there.
I appreciate that.
I do love to see it. You're a lot of fun to watch and to meet.
Yes.
For sure. I love that Mainframe is working for you and that you have created a community too.
Yeah.
I feel like also Des Moines gravitates now to First Fridays.
Oh my gosh.
With, and obviously the fashion show, like we just talked about, it was a huge success.
Yeah, we're even thinking about how we're going to do that for September.
Like, because it's going to be
huge.
It's going to be huge.
And I'm like, okay.
At least it's nice weather.
Yes.
And you guys, I mean, space outside is not a...
well, we're by the hospital. So.
Do you guys work all together, like all the designers together? Or does like the directors of Mainframe are the ones that organize a thing and then you guys just focus on your designs?
So I actually organized that show.
Awesome.
There was, it was a small team of us that had brought it together in a short period of time. There was a lot of transitions that were happening around then. And so when September was fastly approaching, I just reached out to everybody in the building. I'm like, hey, if you have something that you want to present, like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm like, don't put any, extra anything into it. Like, what you got, we want to see it. We want to show it.
Right.
And so we didn't work together. There were some artists that worked together. And one, he wasn't in fashion at all. Chris Vance is a graffiti artist.
Oh, cool.
If I got that wrong, I'm sorry, Chris. But he spray painted on painters' outfits.
Love that.
Yeah, and it was really dope.
Well, everybody gets their own shot at being creative in different ways, which is, I feel like that's Mainframe too as well. Like, mess around with whatever your medium is.
And it's a fashion show. So like, it's the purpose of it is to be entertaining.
It has to be captivating. It has to be...
Yeah.
Keep people entertained.
And it was a long show.
It didn't even feel like that because it was just so fun.
Yes. Everybody had their vibe. I was like, pick your own music.
Yeah.
Like, we're just creating.
Yeah, everybody was... You were able to see, like, each artist of who they were, and it really was that.
And then I closed, a lot of fun. So that was fun.
Yeah. That's always gets to be the best. That's awesome.
Yeah, I ran out in, like, my Birkenstocks because I forgot my shoes. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to dance. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Also, at the end, like, what designer actually looks like $1 million after you work your butt off to put a show together?
And I was sweating. I was running.
Oh, I bet.
I lost a model because she went in the wrong room. I was like, girl, you're supposed to be over here. Yeah, it was so fun. I miss doing shows. I did them a lot in Ames.
Fun. Do you think that you would do more shows, like, on your own, not just the one in September?
I want to do a show, but they're just so expensive to put on.
Right, it's a really, really expensive hobby to have.
It is. It is.
Because at the end, it feels like a hobby.
It does.
Because
you have to make the stuff that you want to show, and you have to put together the show to show what you just made. Exactly.
I know. I do love a show, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like 5 minutes, and it's like the best 5 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
The adrenaline after is like the best, like the high that I want. But they're very, 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 and very meticulous and a lot of work to put together.
It's very time sensitive, too. Because you're just like, I have to do it at the right time where it would make sense.
Right.
And then you have to plan for months.
Mm-hmm.
And then the duration of the show is maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Do you believe that designers, or like, local designers, like we're just talking Des Moines, that there should be a fee to a fashion show?
I feel
or you should, or you think the fashion should be accessible for all?
I feel like you're asking people who attend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
I have a tough time with this one all the time.
I was just like, I feel like if you are asking a designer to put something in a show, you should pay them.
Right.
And I feel like shows should be paid. Like, there should just, like, it costs everybody to do it. So
right.
I feel like it should cost you to show up too.
Because for years, it's just like, no. Like, I just want everyone to come in and be free.
Yeah.
And I believe the fashion should be accessible for all. And then to a point where I was like, so how am I going to make money?
Right. Exactly.
And then it started not making any sense, which I was like, that show that I do once a year during October, like I get paid as an artist to make the show. And it's a free event for the community, again, to raise awareness against domestic violence. But there's so many ideas of shows where it's like, it's so expensive to put together. So I have to come up not only with the money to do all of that, plus the designs. And then I'm just like, I just want people to show up and enjoy it. But it's just this big idea of like, I will love that. But also, you know, my husband's like, you can find sponsors. And I'm like, I'm not going to put anyone's logos on my stuff. Like, it's going to look ugly. Like, we're not a music festival. Yeah. So then I'm like, no, that's also not an option.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, and I think it just for me more would be like, I don't know. I just been to so many shows in Des Moines before where like that cost of entrance is so expensive.
Yeah.
And I could afford it, but not a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then the crowd, it's not diverse. Is like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I wouldn't like to show.
No, I got you. I'm
if my crowd is not, you know, diverse and is not full of like, you know, the people from my neighborhood.
Or
and
people that want to support you.
The people,
and
and the people that want to like, you know, buy my stuff and can afford my stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there should be a little bit of a. I also think that artists should get paid for their work and for what they do, and it's endless hours of work.
It is,
you know.
And I hope that one day we'll move away from that. Can you just come and do this fashion show? And I'm like, what? No.
I did a lot of that, and I regret that a lot. But I was really young.
Yeah.
I was very naive, and I only wanted a space. I wanted a space to show my art,
and
you know,
that's
and
fine.
those were like given there. But now, like, sometimes I think about so many projects, beautiful projects that I did, and I was like, dang. At some times, I wouldn't even get credit for stuff.
Yeah.
I did a lot of visual merchandising for some places, and then I was like,
yeah,
cool. They came and photographed your space. You were in a magazine, and you didn't even mention that I was your visual merchandiser.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. It was like the kids started getting older, and I started like telling you're an artist, an artist. And then I also started doing little projects, and I was like, but I'm gonna pay you because you should get paid.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start getting paid.
And I don't know why there's a thing with like just artists or anybody in the creative field that people don't think they should pay the price that artist set.
Right. Or nothing at all. I love when people are like, can I pick up your brain about this?
No.
Now I'm like, it's taking me a very long time, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I say yes because I'm just. Even
depends.
if it's younger people, then I'm always gonna say yes. That's most
depends.
probably, you know. But like now, like and people that are already in the industry as well, or like, I'm just like, no. And I get a lot of those on Instagram where I'm like, girl, I barely have time to answer like a DM from my friend. Do you really think I'm gonna have time for you to pick my brain?
Yes, and it's also. And I will mention this too. So we make the clothes. I want to be able to pay my models.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
And because, I mean, they're selling it.
They are.
They're selling it.
Everybody should get paid.
Yeah.
In the whole, like, I mean, in this case, right, the fashion show. The DJ should get paid. And everybody should get paid well. So they do the job well, too.
Yes. And I will say, so when we did the show in September, I did not get paid to do the show. Nobody got paid to do none of the designers got paid to do the show. But there was, which is why I said, do not buy anything for the show. If you have something, let's show it. But like, but there's a budget. So I'm like, if there's a budget and you're giving me something to work with, fine. Of course, I would rather get paid. But in that case, I'll be willing to do that.
Right.
But like for the outside, it's like, I don't want to I got to bring all of my stuff to you.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go make it, find the people to wear it, all that. My husband says something to me that always has stuck since he said it. He was like, you either do it for free or you do it for full price. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
Because every time I do something for free and it's like from my heart, I feel good about it.
Right. There is also room for that.
There is room for that.
You know?
Be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Don't just, let people run all over you. But when I was discounting things or doing stuff like that just to be accessible to someone, I was just like, why did I do that? Because now I feel like I just gypped myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just run in with that. I'm like, it's either free or full price.
I love that.
Just take the emotion out of it.
Yeah, that's a good motto to like base it on things.
And I do a free prom dress every year.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
I was working with a local nonprofit, but I think I'm going to bring it in-house just to open it up to more people.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
I'm excited
beautiful.
for my prom babe for this year. I picked her last year, or she got picked last year. It was like a poll or something how they did it. And so I met with her, and she let me do whatever. She was just like, I don't
She's just
so
thankful.
Yeah. I
grateful.
was like,
she was like,
it was a freestyle. I mean, we still did the whole thing,
right.
like go through the
Measure
consultation.
her and do everything.
Yeah. She picked out her fabric, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. So I'm like, we got a girl.
That's awesome.
And I like doing that, too.
Yeah.
And a lot of,
I mean, back. That doesn't mean that, just free as of like taking advantage of. That's a very different thing than giving back to the community and the community that supports us so much as well.
Exactly. I eventually want to do it, like one person from whatever DMPS
Public schools.
school. And
that's a lot of high schools.
It is.
Just FYI. There's
Yeah.
quite a few.
There's
definitely need. That's for sure. Yeah.
But I'm from like a suburb of Chicago. It was just the one high school.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, like my class, I was like number 900 and something in my class.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the school size here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's nuts. So I do want to, and I had a lot of fun in high school doing fashion. So I see that it's here too. So I would like to just pick like, adopt a school.
Yeah.
Give out a free prom dress.
North High School is my neighborhood school, so.
And my husband went to North.
Yeah,
my husband went to North. He teaches soccer there.
Awesome. Cool.
Teaches soccer. He coaches.
Soccer. That's awesome.
Lets you know how far removed from sports I am, but yeah.
I mean, I don't really like sports, but I do love soccer.
Well, yes.
That's awesome. He coaches in our neighborhood school. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And he's high school.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's so cool. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
And have you. I'm so excited to like release this and Rachel after and just like a month of conversations about fashion.
I know. Fashion Week was last week.
Fashion Week was just over.
Yeah.
Tom Brown just showed a couple of days ago and that was it.
He is like my favorite
He is so
surprise
fun to
designer.
watch. Marc Jacobs was incredible. It was so fun too. But Tom
I
Brown.
met him.
You met Marc Jacobs?
I did.
I love Marc Jacobs.
When I tell you, I froze.
I bet. But he seems like he is so nice. Like he doesn't seem like a, Karl Lagerfeld kind of vibes.
No, I didn't get that. It was literally like a past situation. And when I tell you, I literally froze. I was like, oh my God. One, I wasn't expecting him to be, I don't know. It was when I was in New York. We went to the studio.
Awesome.
And I was just like, and he's short.
He's very tiny.
He's so small.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay. And then I'm like turning. I'm like, oh shit, that is Marc Jacobs right next to me.
Yeah.
And I just
low key. He feels low key. I just heard a podcast with him and he was talking about he was reading and the way that he designs and he just seemed like, I'm like, man.
Such an interesting.
So but Tom Brown is just, he just creates worlds.
Yes.
It's not just like a runway. So And I feel like Chanel used to be like that, and
Yeah.
it's no longer that. So my favorite designer was Alexander McQueen, and it's always like that to like push the boundaries until like something seems almost like sinister and scary. Like that's my favorite fashion. It's always like that.
I like Mugler too.
Oh my God, yes. There's like a lot of like really black and brown people that have been moving the fashion for a very long time, but now they're like really like closing fashion week or opening fashion week, which is like really awesome to see.
It is.
Even though they deserve their flowers like a long time ago.
Should have been did it. Yeah.
They're here. Fashion is changing. It's forever evolving, but
is.
And sometimes people wish that it would move less slower.
I feel like it's a shift that's happening.
I hope so. I feel like that was gonna happen, also with models and stuff. And then there was so many people that were so thin again that I was just like, I thought we were past that. Or also just diversity again. I was just like, okay. I was like, okay, maybe in September. We will see.
I feel like September Fashion Week is so different.
Well, that's that Fashion Week.
Yeah.
That is the Fashion Week.
Yeah.
For me, September is
like that's it.
It's a lot more fun.
It is
so exciting
because you have time.
Yeah,
you get to see what other people did. I mean, I'm sure these collections were years in advance.
Yeah,
but they're still making edits.
Yeah, it's more fun to watch September. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about fashion forever. Apparently,
we can.
So I love that. Thank you for coming again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
We can be best friends now that
we
actually met.
Of course.
And now that we know you have kids too.
I know.
I really had no idea about that. So
yes, it's low key on my business page for sure. But yeah,
I would love to come to your studio and check it out and
come on down.
See what's up. I will. I definitely will. I will take you on that, girl. Thank you for coming, Nekia. See you next time.
This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.